Hello everybody, welcome to Nature's People. Thank you for tuning in. Today's video's topic is if the Western economies or the Western nations population is declining, why is the African American population continuously rising? The African American population has been rising since the 1900s. We talk about the number of births, and also due to the higher life expectancy and also better quality of life, the African American population was not once before the 1900s at 9 million, and have been growing at a staggering rate per year, adding an average of 2 to up to 4 million inhabitants per year. So now one of the things I would like to explain, in the 1900s the population was around 9 million, but today it stands as a staggering 46 up to 50 million, depending on the census. Now some of you guys might be saying that the African American population is growing, but the Hispanic population is larger at 18.5%. The African American population, depending on the census and the analysis they make, because sometimes the basis would be on racial admixture, and sometimes it's also on single race. So at the racial single non-Hispanic blacks comprise 14.5% of the American population. That means around 46 to 50 million inhabitants. So now what are the implications of that? Why has the getting back into the main point, why has the African American population been growing all these years if the Western world is shrinking? I will get down into the roots of it, the causes, and the reasons why that happens. First and foremost, I would like to say that unlike Hispanics, the African Americans have been completely, they have gone through years, decades of integration into the American, or so to say Anglo system, wherein there is factors like education, academic attainment, respect, literacy rates, better health, better customs, being monogamous. This does sound counterintuitive, but yeah, being monogamous, having a family, having a solid families, being formal, all these things. Seemingly, it seems that among the African American community, after the white Americans, they're the most integrated among all ethnicities or racial groups. And that's a very interesting fact, that though African Americans are completely integrated and inclusive in the systems, we talk about the number of billionaires or millionaires after white Americans, the African Americans. We talk about educational attainment, achievements, the African Americans. Now, why is it that they are not the population keeps rising? Because the question that won't go quiet is, the higher the quality of life, the better the quality of life, human beings tend to have less children. But that seems to be the reverse in the African American community. Why is that happens? Well, first and foremost, I'll have to talk about the African culture or African momentum. Well, one of the things I have to say is that in Africa, how families are formed and how families are solidified over time, it's not dependent on the bonds. I noticed this in Western worlds, or mostly in Asia. It's more predominant in Asia, that the bonding, it's not based on only needs to provide for the incoming generation. It has to do with the bond, it has to do with the feelings, it has to do with the commitment, it has to be with the compassion for what are the responsibilities that the procreators or the parents have towards their kids, and what is the commitment they're willing to give to stick with their kids and sort of go all the way through till they get older and they get they're free to move through the world. Unlike other primates, human beings seem to be very vulnerable upon birth, and that means they're 100% dependent on parental intervention throughout their development. Now, being more specific and more precise, one of the things I have to say and mention is that though these other cultures emphasize on sticking around and providing a better education and better presence to the kid, in the African American community it doesn't seem to go that way, because we talk about the number of single mothers in America. It's just staggering. And now one of the things I have to specify is that happens for a single and unique reason, is that the way Africans used to live back there had all the responsibility of raising the kid for the woman, while the men went out hunting, getting resources to provide for the family. So there's always been a habit or habitual or tendency of the father to be absent in the story of the child. And this seems very odd and sounds very odd to a Western culture or to a European mindset. One of the reasons that is because Europeans are very concerned and very engaged as far as having a passionate and empathic approach towards life. However, in African Americans, that's not the case. Now, some of the people might be comparing African Americans and Africans. I made a video before about African Americans and Africans. If you want, you can go check it out. It's a really nice video. The content is great. Now, if you want to relate the African Americans and Africans, now the rates of engagement in Africa are very high, and also the rates of divorce are very low. People don't have a tendency of divorcing. This will sound very odd. Some of the people will say that wealth brings differences or disparity in relationships. However, that doesn't seem to be happening in Africa. One of the things is that the way sex has, I don't know, I should edit that part, but always the way mating has an effect in a couple's bondage, it's very strong. This is my personal view. And sort of to compensate for that, people have to make compromises, and that's very, very common in Africa, that African women have this tendency of even though there are financial factors, they always try to sort of lure the husband or the man to stick around, as far as having him get a sexual mating how to say, fulfillment. So the man sticks around, and even though he might be polygamous, he'll try to have it undercover. That's a very interesting topic. Anyways, the video wasn't that great, but I have something for you guys to watch. So please share, like, and subscribe, and see you in the next video. I'm going to make better videos. I'm working on buying a computer and getting equipment to shoot the video and have content for you guys. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being around. Share, likes, and subscribe as always, and see you in the next one. Bye for now.